Hi, this is David Brundage, reporting from Katsucon 2012 with Kyle Hebert, star of many different shows, different video games, to include Dragon Ball, and actually the new Soul Calibur game, which I'm a huge fan of. How was your President's Day weekend going so far?
Pretty friggin' awesome, I gotta say. I love it. I love being here. I love hanging with the fans. I go to cons of all sizes. I've been voice acting for 12 years, going on cons for as long, and I never get tired of it. The only downside is jet lag.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's great to see familiar faces, meet some new friends, and just party with everyone, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
After all your accomplishments and everything you've done, is there anything that sticks out to you as being the one thing, Dragon Ball maybe, the one thing that you really left a mark on, I guess?
Well, you know, Dragon Ball, the franchise, is my first foray into professional voice acting. So that will always be a super high point in my life because it meant so much. It was literally achieving a childhood dream to get on to doing voices for an animated show. My goal is to get into domestic animated stuff. I auditioned for, you know, Family Guy and all that stuff, but I haven't gotten to taste that. I did do a little 2-episode stint on the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes on Disney XD, so later this spring or summer you'll be able to hear me. I can't say who yet, but it is a Marvel canon character that will show up, so it's like achievement unlocked, career achievement unlocked, literally.
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, so getting to do the Avengers, because, you know, it's huge, it's Marvel, and of course the lead into the movie. Not directly plot-wise, but I mean, it's like, hey, by the way, there's a cartoon while you're waiting for the Joss Whedon movie. But yeah, it's really exciting.
So you've always been a fan of cartoons, even when you were young?
Oh God, yeah. What kid isn't?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, I was a fan of anime, although that term didn't exist in the 70s. In the late 70s, early 80s, the word Japanimation came around. Was bandied about. You know, growing up, I had no idea that it was from Japan, but I could tell the detail in the animation, the stories, the characters were so much richer and deeper than any Saturday morning cartoon. I could immediately connect with Star Blazers and Battle of the Planets, and you know, I watched, you know, Speed Racers as a kid, growing up. In high school, Robotech first hit, and yeah, then this thing called Akira came out.
So was there a certain shift from going from cartoons to, I guess, into anime, or did you sort of just overlap? Did you sort of?
I've been a fan of mutual genres, you know, my whole life. I've never necessarily preferred one over the other because a good story is a good story, no matter what the medium. I've been able to convert some friends to Full Metal Alchemist and Cowboy Bebop, and they're like, I don't want to watch anime. It's like, no, it's deeper than that. It's a bigger thing, and they're like, they become fans of it. It's like, a good story is a good story no matter what.
In any language.
In any language, absolutely.
Now, if you could go back and play a certain character or cartoon from your childhood, be it Bugs Bunny or Yosemite Sam, would you have a favorite?
Well, I can never hold a candle to Mel Blanc.
But, you know, Bugs was definitely, and still is. You know, today's generation doesn't really know a lot of Bugs Bunny. I mean, there's a new Looney Tunes cartoon, but I think they're missing the mark.
Right.
It's not the greatest thing out there. You know, it's not Mel Blanc. And, you know, the people on the voice cast are super talented and deep respect. One of my mentors, Bob Bergen, is the voice of Porky Pig nowadays.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah, you know, if I could be a character, I guess, just to be in the Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes world, because that kind of was my childhood. And it's just a shame because, you know, the 70s, 80s, 90s, well, in the 80s or 90s, there became this whole political correctness move where you'd see cartoons edited.
Oh, okay.
And they took out some of the violence because they were worried kids were going to be, you know, it's like, I grew up watching these cartoons in unedited form. I watched the Three Stooges. Yeah. Guns in the face and everything. You wouldn't see that in a cartoon made nowadays. They skirt the issue. I mean, in Batman, machine guns are flying, but no one's ever hit directly. If someone falls from a high building, they always land in water. You know, so you can see that they didn't die. You know, there's all these children's broadcasting standards and whatnot. But I grew up knowing that the Three Stooges wasn't real. Is it violent? Yes, but it's cartoony violence.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun violence.
give kids a little credit, you know?
During your career, what have you found most challenging from the radio, the voice acting, the real acting? Was there anything that you say, oh man, this is tough?
Well, I think that from a standpoint of just trying to make a living as an actor,
Right.
that's tough. Radio's not a high-paying job either. There was stability though, I mean predictability. I walked away from all that to move to Los Angeles to focus on voice acting as a career. And it was a risky move, and I've never been in higher debt or stressed out about bills any more than I have as a freelance actor. But you know, you take the bad with the good, because on the plus side, I get to do what I love. I get paid to play. You know, it's not as often as I would wish, but the work is not consistent. But you know,
But you made it.
I'm trying to make it. You know, I'm not rich by any stretch of the means or anything. I'm doing what I love, and there's great perks. Again, you know, getting paid sometimes not so well, sometimes really well, and then getting to come to conventions like Katsu. Yeah, and yeah, I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
For all your characters you do you have to do research into them? Even if it's for a video game, do you try to find out the characters all about? Is it the same way you would do for, I guess, on radio, even the live action?
Well, what's different in the auditioning side for voiceover is you're told minimal things. You know, they break down the audition sides to maybe a paragraph telling you the context of the story, the character's motivation, the kind of sound they're looking for. Oh, he's 40 years old, gruff looking, kind of a raspy voice, he's a war veteran, and you kind of put these little bullet points together in your head, and it's like, boom, I'm honed in on a voice that I want to try.
And that all can make a complete picture for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes there literally is a picture of the character. Sometimes there's not. And you know, nowadays a lot of voice actors record from home, and we have to self-direct, which is an interesting sort of dynamic that some actors aren't comfortable doing, because they're saying, I'm not booking work because I have to record my own auditions. And it's like, well, I don't know about that. You know, if you've done enough sessions, you kind of know how all the tricks of the trade work. And you know, yeah, interpretations are subjective, but I've been lucky to get to book work based on auditions that were self-directed.
Do you prefer working from home then, or just going to a studio?
Well, going to the studio, obviously getting FaceTime with the directors and the clients and all that, that's worth its weight in gold. But from a convenience standpoint, auditions I do from home. The actual projects I don't really do. The only thing that I record from home that ends up on the air, so to speak, is I work for Kevin Smith's Smodcast.com. So I'm the voice of that format. I write the promos, I voice the promos, like, you're listening to Smodcast.com. Upload that, and then suddenly it's on rotation on the podcast network. So that's pretty awesome.
If you had a magic wand that could change one thing about the industry for better, what would it be?
The anime industry?
Yes.
The anime industry, boy, I wish we could go back to the flourishing days. I want to see fans go back to supporting the industry full-fledged and get away from the fan subbing and the bit torrenting and all that.
Right.
Let's re-educate and change the focus and the mindset of those who are, you know, some of this generation feels entitled because it's so easy. With a click of a mouse, suddenly your hard drive is full of millions of dollars of someone's creation, and there's no money going back to them. So the people are kind of naively just watching it and absorbing it, and they're consuming it, which is great because the stories are reaching a new audience, but at the same time, they lose that drive to pay money. It's like, well, I've already seen it. I've already read the scanlation. Why would I buy the manga? It's like, I would love to just kind of re-educate, go back in time before the internet took over. And it's like, guys, it's new technologies on the horizon. Hey, Japan industry, we have to nip this in the bud. We have to work together with the fan base so that we can continue to flourish, because now times are tough, the economy is tough, studios are folding or refocusing.
You've done a lot of video game work, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually a bulk of my income nowadays is video.
Is there one video game which you just own, dominate? Like,
No, I'm terrible. I
Really?
suck at video games. I love playing them. I play from a casual standpoint. I'm not competitive by any means. So I log in, I play as Ryu on Street Fighter, so I can do that. But I instantly get owned. It's horrible.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, for Street Fighter, yeah. But you know, I love playing shooters like Left 4 Dead or Call of Duty and Halo. And I play with a small group of friends, and it's just truly social. We're not doing it to try to, instant boom, headshot, I win. It's like, no. We're just there to socialize and casually kill each other.
Do you ever, I guess, being in the industry, do you ever listen to the voice actors in Call of Duty?
Sure.
And try to not critique them, but, you know, try to get into their heads and their mindsets when they were, I guess, doing the project?
The only thing is I'll get actor envy. I'll admit I get envious. It's like, oh, I recognize, oh, so-and-so. Oh, there's Steve Bloom. And I'm like, oh, there's so-and-so. And it kind of takes me out for a minute. It's like, oh, I know those guys. And it's like, oh, I wish I were on this game. I get to try out for all the big ones, but, you know. It's like that would have been great to be a fly on the wall on Arkham City or something. Or Gears, make you Gears of War fan. I love that.
Great game.
Terrible at it, but yay for co-op. I'll play with someone else who's good and just follow their coattails.
If it's fun, then that's the important.
Yeah,
So.
that's what it is, yeah.
So there's a rumor going around here that you may or may not have been done the voice for Colossus in the X-Men game.
Oh! Yeah, well, for the Xbox PS3 relaunch, when they did the HD remaster and all that, they left the sound effects and the music the same, but they re-recorded the audio track. So it's not the original actor. No offense to that actor from 1992. I don't know who it was, but Marvel hired me to do all the male voices. So not only Colossus alone, Magneto, Wolverine, Cyclops, you know, Juggernaut. Nothing moves the blob. You know, I do all those guys.
That's awesome.
It's so much fun, and I downloaded it on my iPhone and played it. And it's like, this is so awesome. It's so cheesy.
Is there any way I can get you to do one sort of massive Colossus roar?
Sure.
Before we cut to.
Okay.
I don't know which camera. I guess over here. Or
Why not? All right.
If you want.
Does Colossus even say anything, or is it just literally?
I think the roar is his big appeal.
Okay.
It just scatters everybody.
All right.
But,
when in doubt. Oh!
Kyle there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, my pleasure.